Rivet athletes, hello, it's Tuesday. We are working on a 16-minute AMRAP today. As many rounds, reps as possible, 16 minutes. You'll see today's AMRAP actually starts with a buy-in on the bike, right? We got 75 calories for the fellas, 50 calories for the ladies. This just happens once at the beginning of the 16 minutes. Ideally, this is taking somewhere between 5 and 7 minutes or so. And then in the remainder of the 16 minutes, that's when the AMRAP kicks in, right? So in whatever time remains, which is hopefully 9 to 11 minutes or so, we're doing 15 box jump overs, 12 chest to bar pull-ups, and 9 double dumbbell power cleans. And in this part, we're shooting for 3 to 4 rounds or so, give or take. What have I got to say about that? So, box jump overs should be something that was kind of like a steady state station. That's hard to say, steady state station. So think about you're getting off the bike, like you finish the bike on that first round. Heart rate's up, you're breathing kind of hard. A good place to start is to go kind of steady state, like I said, slow and steady on our box jump overs. Don't rush through these, right? Because that heart rate's just going to stay jacked up. Get off your bike, get a nice steady pace going with your box jump overs. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Get through this nice steady station. And throughout the rest of the workout, the box jump overs should be considered, I would say, a recovery station. Don't go so fast. Use this to catch your breath. Because if nothing else, in the AMRAP part, this is the one station we actually don't have to hold on to anything. You don't have to hold on to dumbbells. You don't have to hold on to a pull-up bar. So you're giving that upper body a little bit of a break. And this is probably the simplest of our movements, right? Everybody can do these. Because right after this, we have our chest to bar pull-ups. I'd like to see those done in probably either 2 to 3 sets, right? You got 2 sets of 6 or 3 sets of 4, something to that effect. But relatively quick sets on that movement. If you don't have your chest to bars down yet, those can just be chin over bar kipping pull-ups. We have ring rows, of course, for our Fit 30 athletes and otherwise. And then our double dumbbell power cleans. So a big jump. We have 2 dumbbells starting on the floor every time. Dumbbells pointing down. Remember, only that one bell has to touch the floor. We're going to big jump, big drive, and we're bringing those dumbbells up to the shoulders. So 9 power cleans there. That should be a way that we can do that set of 9 in 1 or maybe 2 relatively quick sets. Try for unbroken if you can, but maybe turn it into a 5 and a 4 if necessary. So let's talk about strategy-wise. So I already kind of mentioned use those box jump overs as a sort of a recovery station for the other 2, because we have those kind of big upper body and pushing and pulling with our power cleans and our pull-ups. Things to think about mechanics-wise. So we have box jump overs and we have power cleans. A lot of similarity between those 2 movements, right? So starting position, right? We're kind of loading the hips and knees. We're driving those heels into the floor ideally. When we jump, of course, we're getting to full hip, knee, and ankle extension, right? We're getting to full extension before we jump up on top of that box. Very similar movement pattern with our power cleans, right? We're getting to full hip and knee extension at the top. We got that big jump. Landing position is exactly the same as receiving position. So when we land, ideally we are feet are flat, nice soft landing, hips are back slightly, knees are bent. Exact same thing with that power clean going up, and then receiving position is the exact same thing. Send those hips back just a little bit, soften the knees, make sure those heels are down. So that's a good movement pattern carry over between those 2. And then for chest to bars and power cleans and bike, actually 3 stations. I want you to think about elbows today. So first off, bike. We want to have elbows going back. It's very easy, and you see this a fair amount as a coach, where people kind of focus on the monitor, they start leaning forward, and those elbows start coming out. So all of a sudden they're biking like this. You really can't get a lot of power into those handles when you got those elbows out. So try to keep those elbows pulling straight back. We get a lot more push and pull of the upper body. Makes that bike a little bit more efficient. Chest to bar pull-ups for our athletes doing those. So standard pull-ups, strict pull-ups, kipping pull-ups, whatever, we pull those elbows straight down. Chest to bar pull-ups, if you actually want to get contact with the chest, we have to go elbows back, right? We got to pull the elbows back. This pulls the bar into the chest. Countless times I've seen people who could do kipping pull-ups and they're trying to do chest to bars, and they're continuing to pull those elbows down. They're like, oh, I can't quite get my chest to the bar. Well, let's go back with the elbows. Pull them back just like on the bike. Pull them back, and it makes it easier to get that chest to the bar. And then power plays, last thing I'll say, elbows here. So ideally, because we have those pull-ups in the workout, we want to make sure we're using our legs as much as possible with the power cleans and not turning these into curls, right? It's very easy to come up and kind of do a little kind of hammer curl type thing with our power cleans. But then you're going to burn out your biceps, you're going to burn out your shoulders, and it's going to make that next set of pull-ups when they come around a little more challenging. So we want to make sure that we're driving up hard, get that big jump we just kind of talked about. The arms are still long after the hips extend, and then we're pulling ourselves underneath the weights, as opposed to coming up and doing a little one of these, right? Might be good for your biceps, but it's not good for the workout today. So we're trying to keep arms long and extended, jump and catch, because that will save your arms a little bit, again, for the pull-ups coming around. All right, that's all I got for you today, guys. So again, 5 to 7 minutes on the bike's what we're shooting for. 9 to 11 minutes on the AMRAP part. Look for 3 or 4 rounds today. Choose your variations of weights accordingly, and come in and get it done. Oh, and for the CrossFitters, you see I got a really nice, burly extra credit finisher for you guys today. So be ready for some rope climbs. All right, Morgan out.